Emerson was born with a non-cancerous brain tumor called a hypothalamic hamartoma tumor. And when she was diagnosed, the doctor at the time told us to just enjoy every single day that we had while she was healthy, because it could turn on a dime. And I really never imagined that anything would happen. She had been completely fine, had really no complications, normal childhood, really healthy. And then we went in August of 2018. I took her to the pediatrician, and at that appointment, she got 3 vaccinations. She got her first dose of her HPV vaccination, her DTaP, and a dose of her meningitis vaccine. And out of the blue the next day, she came home from school and said that she had had a seizure, a laughing seizure, which is gelastic laughing seizures are the type of seizures that are most common with her type of tumor. She said, I was laughing uncontrollably for over 30 minutes. She said, I could not stop. She said, and people kept saying, what's so funny? And I couldn't even, stop long enough to tell them, nothing, I can't control this.
It was a laser ablation surgery, and what they did was they drilled holes in her skull, and they described them as laser fibers, and they maneuvered those somehow through the center membrane that divides the left and right side of the brain into the tumor and ablated the tumor. The way Dr. Curry explained it is they took it one step at a time. So they would insert a few laser fibers, ablate, and then pull those out, and then drill and reposition and drop additional fibers in.
After the first surgery, he felt like he was only able to get about 50% of her tumor because he didn't want to take a chance because of the possible side effects of going too far. And so we had returned home, and it was summer, and we were visiting family in Ohio, and she started having seizures where she would almost like she was in a catatonic trance. She couldn't speak, she couldn't move, and so we ended up, she spent a week in the hospital in Columbus at Nationwide Children's Hospital, and they were in communication with her doctors in Houston, and they needed to do the second surgery as soon as possible. And so I have a good friend that I work with, and she said, I want you to fill out this application. She said, my husband knows someone from an organization called Miracle Travel Works. She said, and I know they would help pay for your expenses. We went from Ohio, we drove back to Iowa, and then we stayed here one night and we drove to Houston the next day. And I remember it was late at night, everybody had gone home from the hospital. I don't know what time it was, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I got an email from Andrea at Miracle Travel Works that said, we've looked at your application and we're happy to tell you that we're going to give you money to help pay for your expenses. And at the time I was sitting there by myself because my friend had gone to go get us something to eat. And I remember emailing her back, oh my gosh, this email couldn't have come at a better time. I'm sitting in the waiting room of the hospital by myself right now. My daughter's in surgery.
Having that resource, that support at a time where as a family you feel like you're in a free fall. Lots of things coming at you. Life is overwhelming. You're trying to work and again maintain some level of normalcy for the rest of the family. And there is financial pressure when you have a sick loved one. We're thankful and very appreciative to have been able to utilize their service.
Yes, very grateful. And not only just for the financial, but I go back to sitting in that hospital room late at night by myself and getting that email. And what it meant that not only was the financial burden, were they helping us with that, but here was this group of people who didn't even know us, who didn't know Emmy, and the support and just the overwhelming feeling that it gave me to know that there are people out there rooting for her and caring for her. It just meant the world. We reapplied for the second year because we've been to Houston now 4 times. And so we'll continue to go back until, till she beats this.
I would just like to say I'm really thankful for Miracle Travel Works, and that I'm just really thankful for everything they've done for our family. So, yeah.